Today we're going to do something really special, and I think it's super important because many of us don't spend a lot of time in our real emotions. So I'm going to take you through a quick exercise that's going to help you get really honest and clear about how you're really feeling, because when you do that, you'll be able to let go of it and get to where you want to be, how you want to feel, and how you want to be thinking. So I'm going to take you through an exercise that I've done in a live event that I call Unwind and Be Real. And the reason why I initially created this event was because as an entrepreneur, I have been in a lot of containers, coaching programs, and I have really felt like I didn't belong. I have felt like I couldn't be honest with how I was struggling because I should shift my mindset or I should be thinking more positively. And what that did was reinforce all the negative feelings that I was actually having. I didn't feel like I could be honest with how I was struggling and how I was not able to break through this on my own. I needed support. And when I realized that I wasn't getting that support and it was actually making me feel worse, I thought, you know what? I want to do something for other women. I want to create a safe space for them so they can be real, so they have a safe place to come to talk about what it is that they're struggling with. So I created this event called Unwind and Be Real, where I would guide people through several questions, and they did a lot of deep reflection of what was coming up for them, what was important for them, and I'm going to do the same thing for you here. Now, you may or may not have a glass of wine with you. That's not the point. The point is to get into a very comfortable place, whether that's a comfortable chair, whether that is a couch, just somewhere where you can let it go. You can let yourself loose, you can let yourself off the hook and just relax and be honest and go within. And before we start, I just want to say that it's very, very important that we're honest with ourselves and the emotions that we're having. But frequently we can feel like we don't have time to do that. Or maybe we feel like we're weak if we focus in on our negative emotions and are honest and vulnerable about them. We can often be told, like I was, just push through. You have to be more positive or you're going to reinforce what it is you don't want. You'll attract more of what you don't want. If you're familiar with the law of attraction, some people will say and use it against themselves, like you can't think anything negative or you're going to bring more negativity to you. The thing is, those negative emotions are there. You can't pretend them away, but what you can do is process them. And when you do, and you do it in a very loving and compassionate way, you actually can speed up the process to releasing them to then more quickly get to that positive place where you want to really be, where you want to take action from a place that feels good. So just a quick check-in. How do you feel about sitting in your emotions? How do you feel about accessing them? Some high achievers I know, it's very hard for them to actually feel their emotions. And it takes some time. It takes some coaching to allow the space, the safe space, the trust, the allowance. So just notice, how do you feel when it comes to thinking about diving into your emotions? And how much time do you spend on your emotional wellness? A lot of times we think emotions are either bad or good, negative or positive. The thing is, if you really do this work, you can use the negative emotions to get you in a more positive place in your life. A place where you feel better, where you start taking more courageous action, where you start moving the needle, doing things that will get you towards your goals. But you can't ignore the negative emotions. That is key. The more we try to push them down and push through and just full speed ahead, the slower we're actually going to go, because those emotions will show up. They will weigh us down whether you acknowledge it or not. But what we're going to do today is bring them up so you can deal with them and then let them go. So one piece of advice is, as I go through these questions, really notice, take note, write it down, circle it, star it, highlight it, the things that you don't want to feel, the things that you're trying to resist or avoid thinking about or feeling. That is where the money is. Okay, let's dive in. Question number 1. What is it that you really want? And in detail, what would your perfect daily life look like? What would you do when you first get up? What would you do in the middle of the day? How would you spend your evenings? And if one of your goals is making more money, how much money do you want to make? Be specific. And why? Why do you want to make that much money? Number 2, what are you doing that's not working? What do you no longer want in your life or in your business? Get very clear. The more detail that you can come up with, the better. What is it that you're doing right now that's not working? The actions you're taking, the feelings you have, the thoughts that you're telling yourself, the self-criticism, the lack of reaching goals, whatever it is, what is it that's not working? And what do you want less of in your daily life? Number 3, how do you want to feel or be? If you could wave a magic wand, how would you be showing up? How would you feel if you were to accomplish your biggest goals? How would you finish this sentence? I'll finally be blank. Number 4, why is it important for this to happen sooner than later? What is it costing you to stay stuck? What will happen or not happen if you don't overcome these obstacles? If you don't start moving forward? Number 5, let's go a little deeper. Why does any of this even matter? What's possible for you, for your family, for your community, if you were to overcome all of your obstacles and challenges, get unstuck, and reach your goals? Why does it matter? Number 6, what is it that you need? What kind of support do you need? What kind of resources do you need? What kind of breakthroughs do you need to have and overcome so that you can make all of what you said in number 1 and number 3 possible? Okay, so that's the quick exercise to really dive deep so you can know what you want, so that you know what's not working, so you know how you want to show up and why it matters. And then ultimately, what is it that you need to fulfill all of that? And then what you can do next, which I'm not going to go into detail here, but what I would just suggest is that you go through all the questions and the answers that you wrote down again and notice all of the things that are thoughts and emotions that are wrapped up into this. What are the thoughts you're having? What are the feelings, the emotions? And get really clear with that. And then you can use a technique like tapping, and I show you how to do that in some of my other videos that I'll connect right here for you. But if you start to verbalize these things, you start to verbalize your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions and what it is you want and who you want to become, and you tap while you do that, that's the tool. If you use EFT or tapping while you say these things, you will start to release the negative emotional charge that's in your system related to those things that are holding you back. And then you'll be more inspired and you'll start anchoring in the more positive things you want, the goals that you have and where you're headed. I highly recommend using tapping. It just speeds the process along and it will just give you this sense of comfort and get you up to a place of compassion. That's where all change happens, is when you can really come from a place of compassion. So I hope that this exercise is valuable for you. I really recommend that you spend some dedicated time. We went through kind of fast in this video, but pause it and maybe rewind, go back through, listen to this again, and pause after each question and really see what comes up for you. What is your truth? And then use a mind-body tool to release that negative charge from your system so you can get to the other side and move forward faster. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.